So this is a Lego hard drive enclosure, and this is a fully external working external Lego hard drive enclosure, whatever, however you'd like to say it. And this is, of course, just a hard drive similar to what you'd get in any external hard drive in a case that is easily connected via USB. So what I've got here is, of course, a Lego option. I kind of made it look like Legos, you know, big Lego here. And honestly, it's quite sturdy, doesn't wiggle around, it's nice and tight, and you know, easy to try to transport. You might get some weird looks, you know, carrying this around, but it is really interesting. So today I'm going to talk about kind of the build process on how you can build one of these for yourself. This has a lot of capability to expand. It's got a lot of room for different sized drives. You can kind of course customize them and kind of go over the design aspects to make sure that you don't get a drive that's moving around, cause some damage when you're transporting it. But also kind of go over some of the aspects of this that kind of make it what it is. So any size hard drive, so like a terabyte, 2 terabytes, 5 terabytes, 20 terabytes, I mean when we get to 20 terabytes, not yet, can fit in this and without any problem. That usually means that the drives are slightly higher, they take up a little bit more space. But for right here, I've got simply a little adapter here, and then of course I've got the external hard drive enclosure. So you're thinking, oh, that kind of fell out pretty easily. Well, that's simply because on here, the Legos itself does not necessarily fit flush with the drive. There's actually a little bit of space, actually a considerable amount of space that you don't want when you're doing this. And obviously I left some room in the back here because I didn't want the drive to get too hot, especially because plastic is quite a good insulator. And with the PC case that I've done out of Legos, we learned that the hard way. So the nice spaces allow for a lot of aeration, and it's good for that. Also, I went through and I added some small little interesting, some of the bricks that kind of take up a little bit of the space, maybe a half, a quarter, or a third of a brick, and that allows for me to kind of get a really, really tight fit in the hard drives. So basically when I put them in now, it does not wiggle at all, it doesn't slide around. I mean, I can shake this all I like, and it's not really going anywhere. So the other reason I wanted to make this nice little brick that goes on top is because this really needs to be solid and also fit in there quite well. It can't really allow, because you don't want to set the hard drive down like this, and this falls out, and then your hard drive falls out like that, and you're done. You really need something that, of course, fits tight, but also doesn't have any problems with falling over and then, breaking something or breaking the drive itself. So this really needs to be something that's quite sturdy and secure, that's not going to shake around, but also have the ability to kind of absorb some shock impact, which Legos are great for. And worst comes to worst, you lose a few bricks and you still get a safe drive. Also, I'm going to be using the Ugreen USB 3.0 to SATA and I think that's not Molex. Crap. But basically the power for hard drives. And this is just a quick adapter. So if you had built this with a 3.5-inch drive, this is something I reviewed, I think, yesterday. Basically, it just allows you to kind of hook a drive up. This would have even been more better if I had been able to do a full 4-brick, 2x4 brick right here. But I think that was just limited by the amount of Legos I actually had. Those things are kind of expensive nowadays, and also kind of difficult to get your hands on a bunch of the same color. But the same kind of stuff that you're going to be needing for these kind of projects. So basically I could have done that, and then of course it would have been a whole brick and you just had a couple cables coming out. Also this adapter itself has a great feature of supporting both 2.5-inch and 3.5-inch drives, so no matter what you're kind of getting, you have the ability to expand. Also, on a side note though, I did allow for a lot more room to expand vertically. So for example, when you have a bigger drive for like a 10 terabyte, supports all the way up there, that you have the ability, of course, to go through and expand the amount that the height of the drive and have no really restrictions. Obviously, you get to the point where it falls over and then you can't get any. You really won't benefit from the drive falling out all the time. But honestly, it's a pretty sturdy design, and I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, someone can make it themselves, and of course, I'm restricted on the amount of bricks I have, so there's only so much I can do. But it does have the really nice feature, and I also wanted the ability to kind of switch out drives too, because one of the big things is, you want something that's kind of hidden, but you also don't want to have like an eyesore, especially for me when I'm doing recording my videos, and I need something to store 4K video on. I can just throw this on, plop in the drive, close it up, and then of course I have something to sit up on top of my computer that really doesn't look inconspicuous at all. It's just a regular brick, and obviously I can make this look a little bit better, but I can swap drives out without a problem, and it's really, really simple and looks really good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a time-lapse of me building this little contraption, trying out, testing things. Then we'll kind of close up with a video or a little bit of me talking about, testing is how it's handled, how I've used it, things like that, and let's get into it. You stole my heart of gold after
deeper soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. 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 You cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now. A little stronger now. Cashed in on my promises. You know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out.
So I've used this actually for the rest of the day. Actually, I went through and I recorded this first part of the video in the morning, and I've used this for my day. And I've honestly been putting a lot of the videos I've been working on. Actually, the video that I released today, I've been doing a lot of that stuff and actually doing some testing with it. So first, number one, the drive itself would really benefit from putting some type of rubber in there. I know Lego makes some. You could put some rubber bands in there or something. And the reason why I say this is, of course, the drive itself makes slight movements when it's reading and writing, and of course that vibrates and just rattles away on the top of the computer. So if you had some rubber in there to kind of prevent that rattling, you'd make it a little bit better. But that of course depends on the drive and how quiet they are and things like that. As for the ability to hot swap drives, it's actually pretty nice because you just kind of use this as a big USB drive. You just kind of pop this out, throw in a new drive, pop that in, and you're good. You've got a new drive. You can throw and read and write some data to it. Depends on whatever you're writing, video games, all that stuff. So it's worked out really nice for that aspect as well. And also, I kind of think it looks a little bit better. I would also kind of finish it up a little bit, dig around some bins for some pieces, and get something that looks a little bit more finished, and something that looks a little bit more less of an eyesore. I might end up going through and maybe building some stuff on top of this, putting some houses on top of this. I have some other things I can throw on top. Basically make it a little bit less like a big yellow eyesore and more of something that would be a little bit more cooler and interesting to take a look at. But honestly, it's really like it's the design itself. If you were just to look at it from purely as a functional standpoint, it's really, really good. As for how it looks, obviously you can change that up a lot, but it really does not move around at all, and I think a full 4-brick would actually make something really complete the purpose and make it look fully what it's supposed to. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, of course, give the video a thumbs up. Check out my channel for other cool tech-related news, videos, reviews, builds, unboxings, all things of that nature. But most of all, I really do like doing these LEGO videos, and it's funny we end up doing these all around the same time of year, year after year, which is also kind of funny because last year we were doing the Lego CPU fans, Lego computer cases, all that stuff was happening right around this time last year. So we're going to continue that series on by adding another one in here, the Lego external hard drive. But thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, and of course, like the video if you enjoyed. But thank you very much for spending a little bit of your time today to join me for a nice external hard drive video, and goodbye.